Hey, this is Tracy Lewis with Stuff and Things, and this is Winter is Coming Wednesday, episode 15. I am going to delve into DSPs like I had talked about last week, but this particular episode is going to be a little bit different. I am going to do a demonstration on creating the snow globe. I am not going to do the snow globes this year. I did them last year. But I do still have all of the components from last year. I had a few extra snow globe clear domes. So I thought I would do, I don't have any actual finished cards this year, but I found all of my photos from last year. Now I did take them at night. I had a really hard time with the shine, trying to eliminate shine on the domes. But it wasn't night. I believe I was taking them that night before I was divvying them up for family. So I didn't get any daytime shots. So I apologize for the photography if it is not to my usual standard. But I do want, since this is, most of the pieces are available this year, so I do want to walk through the process of actually making the dome in case you were interested and you were considering it. So last year there were 2 shaker bits that you could buy. This is one, and it's still available this year, and that is the Snowflake Sequins, and it has some white snowflakes, white stars, and iridescent shapes. Then they had, and it's no longer available, but this is something, even if Stampin' Up! Doesn't have the glitter, you can get it anywhere. Probably isn't quite as nice, maybe, but who knows, as the Stampin' Up! Glitter. So this is not available this year. I won't be putting any of that in my dome so you can see it. The Still Scenes is the set that I used most of the components, though there are some other components. You'll see in the photography that I used a few coloring options. I used the Snowman Season. I think it's called Snowman Season. So this house has a die cut so that you can pop it up in your dome, and then I will show you there's polar bears that are very cute, and I have some pictures of that. There's a church with a steeple that you can pop up very nicely. And then what I'm going to demonstrate today I've already cut out, and that is the deer and evergreen trees. So I have all the pieces here. There's some different ways you can go about figuring out the alignment so that the dome aligns perfectly on top of your scene. When you do your die cut, you can either eyeball it or measure. This is what an eyeball die cut looks like. I think I have eyeballed all mine. I don't think I measured last year. This is the snowflake background embossing folder from this year. I have not trimmed down this piece, so this is full A2 size right now. And what I have created, if you want to conserve paper, you can take whatever your background is and you can like cut it in half. But what I'm going to be creating here, I'm leaving this blue the size it is just to make it easier to demonstrate. You are welcome to, as an alternative, if you not just want to cut the blue in half or whatever your background is, you can take this background, which is the cutout piece from the die, and then you can just overlap it. You do need to overlap because this glue tape is about 1/4 of an inch all the way around. But you know, you're going to be doing some adhering, you're going to be setting down, and you'll see it in a minute. So I think going around 1/4 of an inch might be a little too tight, and it's going to make it too hard. So I suggest that you just cut your paper in half for your background color. All right, and you'll see you can color your backgrounds. You can add. This year there's adhesive snowflakes. I did buy those. Last year I just used a little dot of mono glue if I wanted to actually have a couple of the snowflakes on the background in the sky to make sure that they were always there. So I have created the deer in soft suede and the trees in garden green, and I popped up the deer so that there is some depth. I am going to set the deer on my blue, and I will line it up. This outer border is another A2 size, and wherever you end up adhering, that is where this is going to end up. So right now, if I lay it down right over the top, I'm going to place my deer where I want it. I could adhere it at this point. In fact, that's what I will be doing, is adhering it. So I have to find my adhesive. We had moved, and I'm just now getting organized for videos this week. So we moved on Wednesday and have been busy. Heaven forbid with non-crafty things. There we go. So that will tack it down where I want it, so it will not move. All right, so then part 2. I need to take my snow globe filler and carefully pile it so that it doesn't get attached to any of the stickum when I have attached the globe over the top, the dome. So like that one, I need to move in. I'm out of practice on figuring out the volume, so I might be using too much. How about I take some away? All right. Now I am going to take the glue off the back, or the cover. Now it's all adhesive, and then I will carefully lay this down. Now I have my shaker pretty much done. That's why it's really nice to have there we go. Had one stuck in the leg. So there's my back. Now it's a simple matter of removing this piece, and I am going to put the blue on a base. So I could either cut it off, like I said, to save, and maybe I'll do that because I want to be focusing on being a good steward and being efficient with my materials. So there we have my background component that will then get attached to the background. Because I cut it off, I will be able to come back and glue the back of this around the edges down onto a card base. So let's go ahead and get this on. And really, that's as easy as that. From here, you're trimming. I did trim down the outside edges of the blue by 1/2 inch and made sure that I centered it. That's why I used this as a guide, so that now I can tape. I can take up to 1/8, even 1/4. I could trim it down as much as I want. I did for giggles, even though I'm not necessarily going to finish this card for giving. I wanted to show you what it looks like. This I've often done in the metals you'll see in silver and gold. The sentiment looks very nice. You can do a bow right here, and the sentiment along the bottom. You'll see all sorts of finished examples of what it looks like, but it is truly, as far as a production type of a card, it is very quick. So if it's something that you want to do, I am not sure if they will have these pieces next year, so I highly urge you to grab them now and get enough for, you know, put in your stash if you want to bring them out. I'll do a few for special people each year, however you want to work it. And that concludes my Winter is Coming Wednesday 15. Leave comments, questions, and suggestions on either my YouTube comments or on my blog. I will have all of the materials used today, as well as the Brightly Gleaming and the First Frost, which are the two main papers you will see used. They were beautiful and made spectacular snow globe cards. So those are still available this year to buy. Do give it consideration, because for even if you're a beginner, you saw I could do this quickly live in minutes and be done. So you could definitely step up your game this year just for something extra special. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next week. All of the products you've seen demonstrated today from Stampin' Up! Are available on my store at stuffandthings.com/shop, which redirects you to Stampin' Up! I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I can sell to folks in the US only. Before you go, please like this video, leave your comments, questions, and suggestions, and remember to subscribe to my channel for more card making tutorials.